What's good, MillennZial Mamas? You're back.
Hey, Emily.
And missing one. So you obviously see that there's only two, not three. But if you're listening, you're only going to hear me and Miss Mia Hendrickson. So, Mia, how are you doing today?
Pretty good. Honestly, today was good for the most part. Full moon, but we were just saying this before we started. Full moon, pissy kids, but I mean, it is what it is.
I mean, you can't control. My husband doesn't think the full moon is a thing, but it's a freaking thing.
No, it's a thing. It's a thing.
I mean, husbands, animals, kids, they'll all be nutty. Maybe I am too.
People in stores, people on the road.
Drivers, they're just not nice.
Literally. It's not. It's a real thing.
It totally is. Okay, instead of our weekly hot takes, because Kendra's not with us this time, me and I decided to do our ick. So there are two different things.
Give us the ick.
Yes. So like, Mia, would you agree that there are two different things between like a pet peeve and an ick?
Yeah, it's a huge difference. Like an ick between a ick and a what's the word I'm thinking of?
Pet peeve?
Pet peeve. Yes, it's completely different.
Completely
different. Pet peeve is more like okay, pet peeve is more like I can't stand when people chew with their mouth open. Like that's a pet peeve. Like it's like ew, it's like annoying, but an ick is like
something that's like a deal breaker on things.
Yeah, I'm gonna go first. Like I have a good one. This like really irks me. Like and it icks me. The new Big Apple headphones, the things that look like this.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yes, and I do.
I feel like they kind of look cool when people are like podcasting or like something of that nature. But if you're like walking down the street and you have those big ass things, like take them off. It gives me the ick. I hate it so much. And then now people like TikTok and they're like, hey guys, like, so I'm about to like do my day. And they have those things on their ears and like take them off. Just take them off. I hate them.
I also don't like people wear them to the gym. It gives me like you're a douche vibe, you know?
I hate it. And sorry, don't anyone get offended. It's just
it's just an ick for you. It doesn't mean that clearly there are people that are buying them hella. So like it is what it is. We just won't wear them.
Yeah.
Okay, how many do you have? Do you have another one?
Oh yeah, I have another one. But okay, this is gonna literally like piss everyone off, but it gives me the ick. Nail art.
Explain.
Gives me the ick. Like the long nails with like the cherries on them and the checkers. Like I can't.
You mean like with like
lines? No, not like that. Like if it's like an accent nail. No, do you know what I'm talking about? Like I'm gonna put a picture on our Instagram of what gives me the ick. It's the nails.
Wait, so if people like draw SpongeBob on their fucking nails?
Yes. I can't. Because
I think I toe the line because I am somebody that I get my nails done every 3 weeks. And if I'm going to Disney, like she's gonna glam them up in like holy Disney-ness.
That's different.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. Like I'm not putting fucking cherries on my nails, but like I definitely
it's more like okay, you're gonna put ghosties. Are you gonna put put like ghosties on every nail for Halloween?
No.
I thought you were going to say yes. So I was gonna be like, shit, now I feel bad.
I actually am not gonna lie. I think I lied a little.
You're like, I
low-key would.
You're like, I actually thought about it. See, that's why people get offended by icks because it's just my personal ick. Like, this is a perfect example. Lex has nail art, and I just said nail art is my ick.
No, you didn't.
Okay, go with your ick. Your icks might be something I do.
I really sincerely hope not, Mia, because mine are a little low-key deal breakery. So I am sorry if I offend you. My ick is not just like it's a yucky. Like, if you give me the ick, you are in trouble. So, okay. All right, here we go. And it might be a condition. I don't think it is. I think it's just like, whatever. Don't be blowing up like hate mail on me. When people get this like sticky spit in the corner of their mouth.
God, yes. No.
Like when they talk, it like,
Alexa, you made my stomach hurt. You literally, like, I can't with that.
Like, when I see people do that, or like, have you ever like went on a date with someone and kissed them and their spit is like,
no, because I've only ever been with AJ, but one of my teachers had that.
Yeah, and I get it. And I don't think it's cotton mouth. Like, I don't think it's from like drinking or doing whatever. Like, I genuinely think that like some people just have spit that's yucky. And like, dude, I can't handle it. Like, I will watch your freaking mouth. Like, and if you're like going to be friends with me, I would actually kind of go like this, like adjust my own freaking mouth.
You're actually tripping me up because I'm adding that to my list because that is such an ick. It is such an ick. Oh my God.
Literally.
I cannot.
Okay.
Okay.
For my next one.
Because you're hitting.
Okay. So my next ick is that, and this maybe is like perfect for the full moon, but I feel like it like adjusts and like makes people more like this. So like I own a chiropractic clinic, and when people come in, I obviously listen to people complain about their complaints, which is okay. But when people come into the office, or even just, I don't have friends like this because I couldn't keep them. I would be so annoyed. I call them soul fuckers. So they're like the people that come in or you speak to, and I'm like, it's like, how was your day? Oh my gosh, I got into so much traffic today. And you know what? I got stuck behind a concrete truck. That thing just spewed concrete mess all over the place. Have you ever had that happen to you? I'm thinking like, okay, you freaking dark cloud, like get the like just, you know what I'm saying? Everything they say, there's not 1 ounce of positivity. And like that can get me because I'm an empath. Like I 100% feel energy. I don't know. Are you that way or do you not know?
Yes. And I could sense it from someone just by 1, looking at them, and 2, 1 word out of their mouth, and I know it right away.
Yeah, I vibe
right away. Like vibes. I'm
like 100%. So like I'm not kidding you. There is a girl like that comes in, and I can think of her, but like we always know, like the people in my office, we all kind of have the same energy. It's really nice. It's a good dynamic.
Yeah.
And when somebody comes in, and she's like, oh, I work so hard, but I gotta get it done because otherwise I can't pay for my house. And I'm just like, oh my God, like you just brought my mood down. Like I feel like the sad thing from whatever. What's that show on
Debbie Downers?
No, but it's like the
oh.
Wait, why can I not think of this?
I know what you're talking about.
It's with
I know what you're talking about.
It just came out with another one. What? Okay, I don't know. It's with joy and sadness and it's like all the emotions and stuff. Emotions? Wait, what is wrong with me? Whatever. But you know what I'm saying.
Inside out.
Yes. She's always like that. Hi, I'm sadness. And I'm just like, oh girl, wow. Bring it somewhere else. I can't. Yeah. I need someone like, I need to take her bouncing into my office. Like that's how I know I will vibe with you. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. It is an ick for me because I can't be friends with you, and I would never be able to date you.
Negativity is not it.
No.
It.
So keep your icks, like write yours down and then add mine because
wait, Lex, are you an Aquarius?
No,
you're an Aquarius,
I'm a Sagittarius, but I get along very well with Aquarius.
That's what I am, but for some reason I thought you had a February birthday. I don't know why.
Wait, you thought I was what?
I thought you were a February birthday for some reason.
No.
No.
Do you believe in signs? Do you believe in you get along with people from horoscopes or astrology?
Kind of. Yes, but I don't know because they're like, oh, these are the signs you should marry, and I didn't marry mine.
I didn't marry mine either, but I do believe that vibes are the vibe. Like, I think that my husband, he's a Taurus. He 100% gives Taurus vibes. Like, and he's always like, ooh, I'm a Taurus. I give those vibes to you. I'm like, you sure do. You stubborn ass. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like, I do base friendships off of those signs. Like, Kendra is an Aries, and she's a fire sign, and I'm a fire sign, and her and I have always gotten along really well. And like her sister, she's a Sagittarius. So we all had like a really good vibe. But
wait, Sagittarius is like November-ish, right?
December.
Or
December. Yeah, end of November, December.
Okay, so AJ is a Sagittarius. AJ is the 20th of November.
No.
So he's a
Scorpio.
He's a Scorpio.
He's a Scorpio.
Miles
he missed it by 1 day.
Miles is a Sagittarius.
What is he?
Because he's the 27th of November.
Yes. Okay.
He's literally essentially.
This is a secret, but not a secret anymore. So I planned with hopes that it would work because I know there's a lot of things that can happen. but I planned Jace to be a Sagittarius.
To be like you.
No, I love that. I actually did. Like, I knew that I had to get pregnant. No, but like, actually, like, I can tell you, I was like fertile from like March 5th to like the 10th. And then it gave me a due date of November 26th. And
that's hilarious. You're probably pumped when you heard that.
You're like, well, okay. So the crazy thing is that my dad's birthday is the 4th of December. My mom's is the 5th, and I'm the 6th. And I had Jace on the 1st. So like, we have this cutie little, Anyway.
It's so crazy.
It's corny, but it's true.
I love it.
I feel like a really hot topic with not even just first-time moms, but like people who are honestly even wanting to get pregnant and they're vain or like they just are health conscious. Like they're always worried about getting their bodies back. And it's not easy. Like, I mean, for some women, they're just so blessed with their hormones never being like messed up or like unregulated. And then there's people like me that had to absolutely try my face off to lose the weight. Where did you fit in with that?
So I feel like I just like genetically got a good run this time, but only because I got hyperthyroidism. I got postpartum thyroiditis. So I didn't know. Yeah, so I didn't know this until probably 5-ish months when I lost a lot of weight. So when I got pregnant with Miles, I was like 108 pounds, which is like my normal weight. And then I gained like, I think 32 pounds, 33 pounds with Miles. And then literally 3 months later, not even 3 months later, I was like down to like almost 100 pounds, like flat. I was like getting so thin. And I knew, and my metabolism was crazy, which I was running again. I thought maybe it was just like breastfeeding, running. Like obviously people say when you're breastfeeding, you lose weight. Anyway, so I just like assumed it was that. But I started to get really dizzy and I started to, my food started to taste weird. Like we were having zucchini one night and I was like, AJ, does our zucchini taste like metal? And he's like, no. And I was like, oh, maybe I have like something wrong, like an iron thing wrong. And I went to the doctors and they're like, we'll just test your your blood for see if you're low in iron. And my blood work came back and I was like hyperthyroidism, like crazy high. He was like, you need to see an endocrinologist. Immediately wanted to put me on medication, which I think was super annoying and probably controversial, but I didn't take it just because I didn't want to do it while I was breastfeeding, just like a personal like choice. Yeah. And so I still haven't gone to the endocrinologist. I actually am going in November, but I think I'm done. Now that I've stopped breastfeeding, I think my hormones are like balanced now, but I got 2 opinions. I got one from my doctor saying, definitely go on medication, but they weren't taking it more as like, I'm postpartum, like I just had a child, I'm breastfeeding, I'm an oversupplier. And then I speak to my OBGYN and he's like, hey, it's postpartum thyroiditis, like no need to no need to do anything. Then I'm like, okay, I'm getting 2 sides of the story here and I don't know like which one to do. So I just followed my OBGYN and now I just finished breastfeeding and I feel like I'm back to normal, just like hormones and all that. So I get tested again on the 5th of November. So we'll see.
But like your weight that you gained is a really healthy weight. And like you obviously know that now, but like during COVID, I know the first episode I kind of like divulged that I ate like shit, but I did. And we'll talk about this in another episode, but like I'm pretty crunchy when it comes to like food. So it was just like all of a sudden my body was just craving these crazy, crazy things. And I wasn't working out as much because obviously like the only thing I could do was go out and walk. I'm used to like doing CrossFit and like running marathons and whatever. And like I gained 68 pounds with Jace. Like my 5-foot body was the same weight as my 6'2" husband. Like his extra large shirts were like low-key about to be belly shirts on me. And like, I did not breastfeed the first time around. I'm not saying it gave me like ick vibes, but like I don't know why, but I have never been like, if Kendra was on, she would be telling you she loved being pregnant. She was amazing as being pregnant. She totally like has been breastfeeding and like all of the things. And it wasn't like calling my name the first go around. I don't know what I was, but like it took me 10 months to lose. I lost 70 pounds. So like I got back to my normal size. But then the second time with Natalia, I only gained 52, and like I am stuck at like I have 8 pounds to lose, and I'm absolutely stuck. And like I know that people like can be like, oh, you look so good. And I do know that I look good. And I have been lifting like the heaviest I've ever been lifting. I feel great. I'm almost back to my normal marathon time. I'm like, I don't know, 20 minutes away from what I was usually at like a 4:10 before like both of my kids. So like I ran a 4:34 like 2 weeks ago, not the last two I did, one before that. So I'm close, but it's really hard. Like the regulation of your hormones is I feel like it's not spoken about the way that it should be. You know what I mean?
No. And like, this is kind of going on a tangent. I don't know if you had similar experience, but like, so yes, hormones go absolutely insane after you have baby. Like I was 10 months postpartum when I started. Can we talk about periods?
Oh,
can we talk about this?
Why not?
Yeah.
It's a thing.
Yeah. Okay. So I was 10 months postpartum. So literally like weeks ago when I was able to get my period back, but it's mostly because I was, stopping breastfeeding. So then I was able to get it back. My hormones were so insane that my anxiety was so bad to the point where I actually just started therapy 3 weeks ago because that's how bad my anxiety was. My anxiety was. And literally, I think completely hormonal, because it either could be that or because therapy's working. I don't know, but I'm pretty sure it's hormonal because now I'm already a week past my first period from a year and a half of not having it. And I have barely any anxiety. So like my hormones, insane, like what your body could do and like your hormones could create anxiety. Like it's insane. It was absolutely berserk, crazy. I know. The worst anxiety ever.
It seriously is crazy. And like, it's funny that you say that because I strictly pumped. So like I wasn't full producing. I mixed it with formula. I pumped for about 10 weeks. You said this earlier in the podcast, but you're like, did you know that like, or people tell you that like you lose crazy weight when you're breastfeeding? That's actually a fallacy. Like,
is it?
And yes, it is. And I know because number one, like I treat a lot of pregnant women in my clinic. But I know because I did a lot of research myself and found like I was not losing weight. Like I was fucking gaining weight. And I was like, what the hell? I just lost a little bit of weight. Like I just had this baby. So I lost about, Natalia was like 7.5 pounds. So I lost that. And then I lost like maybe 3 or 4 pounds. But then all of a sudden I started creeping up and I was like pumping 4 times a day. So I was supplementing in a little bit. Obviously, my doctor was like, well, something's better than nothing. And I kept gaining weight. And so I'm diving in. I'm like, I thought I was supposed to be losing all this weight. So I made it to 10 weeks. And at that point, I was like, you know what? I made it longer than I did. I didn't even do it with Jay's.
Yeah.
So I felt proud of myself that I did that. But like looking into that, and after I stopped, my hormones were absolutely crazy. Absolutely crazy. Like, I think it is so underrated to speak about postpartum that some women don't get it. And like, they're so freaking lucky. And I actually don't think that Kendra did. The next time she's on, like for the next episode, like we'll have to ask her because I'm pretty sure she didn't, like she just got like normal, a little bit of like baby blues. But I was afraid I was going to wreck my car. Like it was that bad. I even said to Jill, I was like, I don't think I can be alone. I am not afraid I'm going to hurt my babies. I never felt that way, but I felt like I'm not doing enough as a mom. Like it was so not me. So not me.
And I think there's two sides of it too, because it's like, it could be, you get the baby blues or you get like postpartum depression, things like that, like right after like your hormones release of like you having the baby. And then I think it's completely different. Another whole hormone release when you're going to get your period again, or you're stopping breastfeeding or something that you're just like regulating back again, because that's what happened to me. I had nothing. I had no anxiety when I was pregnant. I had just such a good pregnancy. And then after I had him, had none, thank God, no like postpartum anxiety, no postpartum depression. But as it became 10 months later is when my hormones were shifting, is when I got so bad. And so I feel like it's so different. Like everyone's journey is so different, but wild what it could freaking do to you. Like and the most terrible thoughts. And I think it's really just about Miles, but it's just it's so terrible.
Well, and like, I also know too, I have something like, I'm lucky because I do acupuncture in my clinic. Like I have other providers in there. So I was able to help myself through like supplements and acupuncture. I didn't really go to therapy because it wasn't something that I could really talk out, if that makes sense. Like it wasn't like I have beef with my husband. It's like, why do I feel like I'm not good enough right now? And like, I felt like I was totally failing. Like I have a 2.5-year-old at that point. I have a 2.5-year-old son who needs me. And then I have this little baby that needs me. And my husband was out of town for work. So it was like, I felt like afraid to like admit that I was not really feeling the best. But I was like, yeah, I'm good. And then when I was by myself, I'm like, oh my God, like keep a freaking knife away from me. Like it was so insane. I don't know.
Scary. It's scary. So, and women go through this and then are afraid to talk about it and afraid to say that was their journey. But it's a lot of people's journey and it's crazy.
Yes. Okay. I'm about to blow your mind with something. So in my research of my depression and anxiety that I had with Natalia, I had a little bit, by the way, with Jace, but it was gone in like 4 weeks. Like once I got my period back or like after 6 weeks, I was just fine. But like this time it was just completely different. Okay. So there's this thing where, do you still take prenatals?
I do.
Okay.
So I still take mine.
So you take them daily. Do you take any other supplements?
No.
Okay. I'm like supplement queen. I'm like, yo, I've been eating this and right. And I definitely want to share that with you because I have something that's connected to any of the supplements that I take. If people are curious, like, okay, well, how did you go about like, making yourself feel better?
Yeah.
So there are some links in our Instagram bio with those links in there or like the information. So, okay, did you know that they did a test in 2020 and 38% of the women that they did this test on, I don't know how large the study is. People can look it up. Like it's a real thing. I'm not like throwing out random shit. There is a mutation that 38% of women have, and it's called MTHFR. So it kind of seems like it's like short for mother, but right. But it's linked to this gene mutation is linked to not being able to metabolize folic acid or folate in your body. So every prenatal, like what do they tell you that you need to have lower birth defects for your baby is folic acid. And like a lot of women take it, but there's actually like side effects. Some women cannot metabolize it. So it actually can cause psychological disorders like depression and bipolar disorder.
Whoa.
Yes.
So what does it say? So take a very specific prenatal or to like, what is the alternative?
So the alternative is to just get something that doesn't have the folate in it. The doctors will still tell you to take it, but I mean, like, it can lead to some, like, another study of this. Like, they say if you're worried or concerned about it, like, if you've been having multiple miscarriages and things like that, you should get tested because it can be linked to miscarriage in women's bodies. Like, it's like a mutation.
Interesting.
Yeah, and so you can get a blood test to see, but it can lead to like high blood pressure, psychological disorders, recurrent miscarriages, hair loss. Yeah.
We were just saying that.
Yeah. So think about it. I mean, it is a good thing to go to your OBGYN because, again, I didn't know this until last year. Like, I didn't know that. So I was like, okay, I'm not going to take a prenatal because a lot of women are like, oh, prenatals, you know, they're just really good for your hair, skin, and nails. And it's very true. It is. But if you are unable to like metabolize this, you're doing yourself a disservice because you're giving yourself other side effects. And your OBGYN would be able to tell you more of what they would recommend at that point if that was something that you really did have. You know? So
that's crazy.
It's actually freaking nuts. So I was wondering, like, well, maybe I was taking all of these supplements that like weren't right for me. So I started taking a lot of like collagen. I started taking a ton of collagen instead of like the B9 or like the vitamin Bs, because like folic acid is in B.
Yeah.
I don't know if you knew that.
In vitamin B?
It's in B vitamin. So folate is from the B vitamin.
Okay, and I did know that. Oh, yeah.
So if you took something like, there are some things out there like Parallel, they have like 4 or 5 tablets you can take. And one of them is the folic acid. So you could kind of take that out and then you can just eat the other vitamins. So that's something that is something to think about anyway. And then the other thing I take a probiotic, because like a lot of women forget that like everything is deriving in the gut. So like no matter if you're an organic girl or if you don't really give a F about any of that and you just eat to do you, like that's fine. But like probiotics just really, really help keep your like gut feeling good. Like, yeah, I felt like I was so gassy and shit. Like after it's about it was like, what is happening to me?
What probiotic do you take?
So there's this brand, I will post it. It's called Nutridyne, and they're a family-owned company, and I have never had any bad experience with them. They have like top quality, literally top quality, because it's all like non-GMO or vegetarian or vegan or gluten-free. So like they do have those products available, and that's kind of why I was like interested in that too, because I just like supporting people like that. But then the other one that I started taking was, I followed this trend because they were totally profiling me on Instagram. They were like, yo, we know that you need some help. So they were like shouting me out, like the Armra. Have you started that? Have you heard of it?
No, I've seen it. It's the Armra colostrum, right?
Yes. So
yeah, I've seen it. I hear it in like my other podcasts actually that are sponsored. This is not sponsored by Armra.
Yeah.
But
no, but it's like completely grass fed with the colostrum. It's there are so many different nutrients in it that I take a scoop a day. I do the unflavored, but they have like a ton of different flavors that you can.
Do you mix it with water?
I just mix it with water. Okay. Yeah, no, but like it has seriously helped with my bloating. Like, I'm not even kidding you. And like my hair has been so thick from it. Like, really, you guys know how freaking healthy my hair is. Like, it's hefty.
You have crazy hair.
Like,
wait, I might look into that. That's neat.
No, you seriously should, because like, and I also have that link in there too, because I was like, this is too good to not. And I believe that any of our subscribers or like anyone who orders it, they get like 20% off because
Armra sponsor us.
Yeah, for real. We're waiting for it. No, but seriously, it's really, really good for just like your gut, your microbiome. Like, just, I felt so bloated after having a baby. And like the last thing that I will for sure say, not about supplements in general, but like people think that they working out and like going crazy. Full disclosure, coming from me, so I know people know that I'm like nuts about like workouts and running and all those things, but too much is definitely a bad thing. I know this about my body. I get it, but high cortisol levels in your body 100% keep you from losing the weight you want. And like
100%.
It doesn't matter how many calories you cut. It doesn't matter that you're completely organic. It doesn't matter that you're completely just eating salads. Like, the higher your cortisol level, like if you're running 2 hours a day and going to CrossFit, and you're working out 7
It's a
days
lot
a
of
week,
stress.
it's so much stress on your body. So
yeah, and that's funny you say that because before my wedding, actually, I was so stressed, obviously, because all the things you had to do. And I obviously wanted to like look so good in my wedding dress and I'm like running a million miles a day. I started meditating and I swear, like, because I was lowering my cortisol every morning. So I would sit and was meditate. Oh, and also I was unemployed towards my wedding, which was terrible, but also good at the same time because literally planning a wedding is a full-time job. But so I would have so much time to meditate. I would do 10 minutes of meditation. I would sit on my floor and meditate in the morning. And I swear to God, slipped right off of me. Like because I had such low stress levels.
yes.
I mean, I'm sure I was still stressed, but I was lowering my cortisol compared to all like with, running 5-6 miles a day.
Yes.
But it's true. High intensity workouts are just hiring your cortisol. You have to have something to bring it down.
Yeah. And
Stress.
it's seriously so true because I have a trainer, shout out to Ben. He's like a nutrition coach for me. And
yeah,
he's like, okay, so what are your rest days? And I was like, well, I run 3 miles on Monday and Tuesday. That's my rest day. He's like, okay, but what are the days that you don't do anything? And I'm like, Ben, you're so funny. There ain't none. Like, I'm gonna be honest with you. And like, I totally know, like, high stress, like we just said, high stress, yes, it will hold on to those pounds. But like, it's like, what is enough? You know? You gotta kind of give and take too. But
it's true though.
Honestly, the one thing that I will say, like, okay, 2 other supplements that I'm just gonna throw out there that really helped me. They're not long-term supplements. I'm just gonna completely preface this because number one, okay, so have you ever heard of ashwagandha? Do you know what that is?
Yes. But my mom went on it and she hated taking that.
Really?
I mean, it just wasn't for her. Yeah, I forget what her side effect was. She got like a side effect from it, but I can't remember what it was.
It does help balance your stress. But the thing is that you have to take it in the morning on an empty stomach. And if you don't, then that can give you some side effects for sure.
Then that's probably what maybe she wasn't doing that.
It could be. They say to take it the moment you wake up in the morning on an empty stomach is like the most effective way to take it. And then the other thing is St. John's Wort. That shit saved my life because I started taking that.
Wait, what is that?
So it's just a supplement. It's not like a word. It's just, I don't know. You just call that.
Yeah, it sounds gross.
It does sound really gross, but let me tell you, St. John's Wort can be so helpful for women with depression and like just like regulating your body in general. I'm gonna tell you exactly what it is.
When do you take it? Like, I know you said like 6 months or less or whatever, but like, so when would you take it and for what?
So it is a wild plant. I just want to explain to everybody what it is so they don't think it's some like yeast infection or whatever. So sorry, way too much. Okay. St. John's Wort is the flower. It's a yellow flowered plant tracing back to Greece. A really well-known thing that Chinese acupuncture will explain to you. It helps decrease your depression, but they say if you take it for over 6 months, it can actually affect your sex drive. I'm telling you, it did for me. And I was like, God,
Really?
like, I just really feel different. I feel like I'm not depressed, but like I feel weird. I didn't feel like my normal self. And like, it really can help. It also helps with like menopause symptoms for like older women. But it can re-regulate you. But the thing is like, it says when taken up to 12 weeks, it can cause agitation, anxiety, and dizziness. So like, you don't want that to be a full-time thing. Like some people are like, oh, I'm taking St. John's Wort. It's great. It's like, okay, that should be so seasonal and so quick with like.
So what Oh, wait. So explain, why would someone take St. John Wort, like even if it was for a few weeks? Like, what would be the main things that you would say, oh, you should take that?
So
Depression?
there are interactions with certain medications. So make sure if you really do put that in your like regimen for a little while at least, make sure you're not on things like Xanax or whatever. Like really go into like the interactions and make sure that it's not something that's going to interact with anything you're taking. So like that's like number one. But there is like a huge benefit for decreasing that depression. Like it says, some research has shown that it's to be effective as several prescription antidepressants. So if you're not looking to take anything, which I'm more on the crunchy side, so like I rather try something like Chinese medicine wise or supplement wise before I go dive into something else. So but like just like last thing I will say about supplements in general is that really be careful with the brands that you buy. I know it may seem so extra to spend like an extra $10 on a supplement from a different company, like the ones that I recommend or, you know, somebody else recommends. But the quality of supplement is so important because if you go in and you buy, I don't want to like throw in like supplement company under the bus, but if you buy like something really quick off the shelf that's like $8 and it says it's vitamin C, more times than not, they will lab create that vitamin C compared to getting it directly from like absorbic acid or whatever. So like really be careful with the compounds that are there because they're not FDA regulated. So they can have the smallest ounce of vitamin C in it and they can put it on the shelf and sell it. So, and it's not going to be as effective. Yeah. Like it's just a waste of money. So, you know.
And you're consuming it thinking it's something completely different than it is. Which is even 100%. Scarier.
Well, hopefully this helps people. And like, you guys can send us DMs. And like, if you have any other questions about anything, I mean, me, Kendra, and Mia, we all have different bodies and body types and what worked for us. So we're not saying that that's going to work for you. But at least you have like other mamas that are like you. If you're suffering and you struggled like me, or if you had a BDS metabolism like Kendra and Mia, like let us know, like where did you fall or like where your struggles are, and maybe we can discuss it or help you like figure out where you're at. But
it's a journey. Everyone has a journey, a different story about this whole postpartum craziness.
Yeah, 100%. Well, hopefully next week we're back in action with the three of us, and we will give you some hot takes and some juicy gossip and some hot tea. So be here for it. Have a good week. We'll see you next time, MillennZial Mamas.
Yeah. We'll see you at episode 4.
Bye, guys. And follow us on all of our socials.
And give us 5 stars.
Thank you. 5 stars. Thank you.